Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. A mom fighting for custody.
Are you using drugs?
No.
Have you asked anyone for Percocet recently?
I don't take medication like that.
Well, how about just telling me the truth?
I am telling you the truth.
And
I don't believe that your son came home and told you that his daddy had done something wrong with him. I don't believe a damn word you're saying. Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Yesterday, we met Megan, who claims her ex, Andy, is using the courts to make it impossible for her to be a mother to their 5-year-old son. Now, Megan says Andy and his fiancée, Caitlin, have falsely painted her as an unfit and unstable drug addict, only allowing her to see her little boy once in the past 3 months. But Andy and Caitlin say, do not buy Megan's sob story because the only person keeping her from her son is her. Here's what happened yesterday.
Outer space, here we go.
Andy and Caitlin are alienating me from my son.
High five.
Trying to phase me out. I am completely kept out of the loop. Anytime I've asked Andy for visitation, he claims that I'm too unstable, I'm a drug addict. It's completely wrong.
Why is there this opposition to you having a relationship with him?
I honestly don't have any idea why they're so opposed to having Avery be around me.
Is there some cruel vendetta left over because of the breakup?
We haven't really discussed any other reasoning other than a drug problem.
Do you have a drug problem?
Absolutely not.
You just heard Megan say that being in your son's life is her #1 priority. True or false?
False.
Why do you say that?
If she was so worried about being Avery's wife, in the past 2 years, she would have completed a 1-hour parenting class.
Megan's constantly telling people that we stole her baby. That is a bunch of
It was her behavior and overall lack of responsibility. When Megan did have 50-50 custody, I would get text messages from family members. She's been drinking, using Adderall. Once Megan lost 50-50 custody, she would not show up to a visit. She reeked of alcohol. She would slur her words. Because of Megan's outrageous behavior, the guardian ad litem rendered her unfit.
Megan is oblivious to the fact that she's not a good mom.
She doesn't attend school functions. She doesn't come to meetings with Avery. If Megan stays the way she is, she's not going to be present in Avery's life.
She says that you guys are blocking her.
That's incorrect, sir.
Caitlin, she says you're trying to take over.
That's absolutely ludicrous. I'm a mother to him. I only have to be. Nobody else is. I don't want to take her place.
Do you believe that, Megan?
That's not what they are making it seem like to me.
You say that they block you from trying to talk to him even on FaceTime.
I've asked multiple times for if I could call.
We have never stopped him from seeing her. She's only stopping herself.
In the past 98 days, the requests to speak with Avery have been 26. You have actually spoken to him 19 times. The number of times that Andy and Caitlin refused to answer the request were 0.
I'm pretty sure I've talked to him more than 26 times in 3 months.
I mean, those are the facts.
If that's the facts, then I guess those are the facts.
You have actually lived with this couple on 2 different occasions.
This is the room where Megan stayed at when she was living with us.
We allowed her to move into our home. Twice.
At first, living with Andy and Caitlin was amazing.
It was a complete nightmare. She wouldn't help out around the house.
When I was doing homework with Avery, she never stepped in. Megan treated our house like it was a hotel. Her time with us came to an end when we found out she was doing Adderall.
You moved in with them?
Yeah, it was supposed to be temporary until I was able to get on my feet and figure out where to go from there.
That doesn't sound consistent with them trying to block you from Avery's life. They say you were detoxing from alcohol and Adderall.
I'm not sure where they get this alcohol usage from. I wouldn't say that I was detoxing, but I was definitely in a state of depression.
Were you on drugs at the time?
No.
Caitlin, you're shaking your head Not just yes, but hell yes. You made a claim. Avery is telling me something disturbing.
When Avery was around 3 years old, Avery pointed to his bottom, and he told me that Daddy kicked me with his privates.
It was just ludicrous. I would never do something like that.
CPS had me go pick Avery up from Andy immediately.
But to be very clear, the day before Megan recorded it, she actually asked Andy to come pick Avery up.
If she actually believed that, why would she ask me to pick him up a day after hearing that?
After CPS investigated it, the allegations were completely unfounded.
Megan, you said, I would never make this up. Andy says, you need help. Megan says, I have no choice but to take action. Then on Wednesday, Andy says, when am I getting him? Megan, tomorrow before class, or I can bring him tonight.
I do have reasoning behind that.
Please.
First off, I didn't know how to handle it because Avery was so young, and I wasn't sure what was the right way to go about. And I was worried that if I refused to give Andy his visitation, that he would come back and file that I refused to allow his visitation without any concrete evidence or reasoning.
Did
Megan,
you take
you have
him
done that multiple times.
hold on a minute, Andy. Andy, hold on. Megan, did you take him to the doctor?
I ended up making an appointment for the evaluation, yes. Not immediately after, but I called CPS, and then as soon as I called them, they recommended me on what to do from there.
Did you take him to the doctor?
Yes.
You took him to a pediatrician who examined him for sexual molestation.
They did the interactive exam, I guess, that if he showed any behavioral signs of it.
That's not true. So Dr. Phil, because obviously she's not understanding the question. No, she never took him to the doctor. The CPS, what they did is they did their investigation. They did the behavioral specialist. Megan never took him to a doctor. Megan never did any of that stuff. So I guess maybe she's misunderstanding.
Told us that Megan requested a exam, but they told her that that's too traumatizing to do on a child, that they would not do that unless
that's not what
he
they said.
showed signs, symptoms of it.
Right. And when he didn't, that's when I canceled the physical exam because I knew they said it was going to be too traumatizing for him.
Right. And you also, Megan, after all this was said and done and was obviously unfounded, you messaged me letting me know that I would never do something like this. And it just so happens that it happened. Right. And just what you just said in your interview, that you think that might be some reason why you're doing it. And then, not to mention, after all this time, after it was unfounded, you continue to do it right before we have custody. It kind of makes weird sense that it just happened right before custody.
Why would you say that Andy's trying to keep custody to keep him quiet?
But you just say I wouldn't do that. So which one is it?
Sometimes I wonder. Like in the interview, I said that I have a gut instinct, and when Avery told me that, it just set me on a defense mode.
We just both know it was a accusation just to make sure that you can sit there and try to get custody. You've done everything you could to try to put it in place, and they literally keep shutting you down because you can't keep making up lies to try to benefit yourself. The facts are never there. You know in your heart, deep in, I would never do something like that, and you did it just out of spite. That's just what it is.
That's not why I did it. I mean, I'm sorry that you feel that way, Andy. I've tried to let you know that that's not why I did it, and I don't know how to change your mind. I guess that I don't know. I don't know what you want me to say.
We need to take a break here, and Andy, you really want to let me talk to her when we come back. Next, from finding stable employment to obstacles keeping her from starting treatment, Megan says putting the steps in place to see Avery have been an uphill battle. We'll talk about that after the break. You either believed this or you didn't.
I've never been in a situation like that before.
There's something seriously wrong with your judgment. And later, is this how you're making money at this point? Just here to make some money off how much I really like to play?
Well, I mean, it makes money.
Megan, did Avery come home and tell you what you are alleging he told you, or is this something that just as a desperate mother, you were pushed into saying in an effort to try to get access to your son.
Avery came to me and told me that. That's why I asked him if his dad kicked him with his foot, so that I wasn't prompting him to say anything else of the sort. Like, he came and he told me that word for word.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that, because that gives me grave concerns about your judgment as a mother. Because if your son came and said that to you, and the next day your judgment was to offer him up to his alleged molester, there's something seriously wrong with your judgment.
If I didn't let him have his visitation with his dad, then his dad would have been able, then I would be the one in the wrong.
You either believed this or you didn't, and you say you believed it enough to report it, and given that, you were prepared to deliver your son right back into the hands of what you believe to be a molester. And you were just, hey, no problem. Pick him up tonight,
No.
Bring him tomorrow, whatever.
I've never been in a situation like that before. I didn't know how to handle
That's
that.
one trial learning. That
Right.
doesn't take practice.
Like he said, we were in a custody battle, and I felt like I would have been in even more trouble with the court if I didn't allow Andy to have his visitation. As soon as they said go pick him up, I went and I picked him up, but I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do.
Well, I think you knew what to do, because you didn't think there was any risk at all.
I didn't want to believe that. Yes, of course I didn't want to believe it. I didn't know what to do.
You said to me when I first started talking to you that there was a guardian ad litem in this case, correct?
Yes.
For those that may not know, a guardian ad litem is a professional that is appointed by the court that is owing only to the child, has no loyalty, no responsibility whatsoever to either side, either parent. And you said that the guardian ad litem did not support having supervised visits and was very supportive of you. But I'd like to read a few excerpts from the guardian ad litem's report in March of 18. Best interest factors. Adderall psychosis states currently undergoing treatment. Repeated requests for documentation, none has been forthcoming. Summary and recommendations. Appears to have come unglued. Appears abusing Adderall once again. Drug test positive. Judgment is jaded by Adderall. Not thinking straight. Tearing family apart. No environment for Avery. Now, your statement to the producer was the guardian ad litem didn't think supervised visits were necessary. Summary and recommendations. Father cooperative and demonstrates a genuine concern for mother and her relationship with Avery. Ensured Avery and mother's relationship remained intact and strong. Megan, what are you talking about? That the guardian ad litem was supportive of you and not supportive of supervised visitation. It says coming unglued. Adderall induced psychosis. What are you talking about?
This was verbal. This was expressed to me verbally in the courtroom.
Oh, so she wrote her report and filed it with the court as an officer of the court, sworn statement, but then told you privately you're really okay.
Yes.
Megan, come on. Listen, if you want to have a relationship with your son, you need to get real with yourself and with me. You were told that you needed to complete a 1-hour parenting course 3 years ago. Have you done that?
No.
You told me your #1 priority was to have your son in your life, and you haven't found 1 hour in 3 years to complete a parenting course?
No, I haven't.
If this is your #1 priority, why have you not completed a 1-hour parenting course that takes you one step closer to having your son back in your life?
Because everything else just seemed like so much.
You are also to complete a drug education and rehabilitation course. You haven't done that either, have you?
No, I haven't.
And you're to be employed, and you say, I can't be employed because I'm smoking dope.
I'm not doing that.
Can you pass a drug screen?
We know this. This is happening. People are telling on her to us.
I don't know, Caitlin. I don't have Klonopin. Like, I don't have a prescription for Klonopin or anything.
It just doesn't add up.
And later, somebody needs to tell you the truth. I don't believe a damn word you're saying. You're to be employed, and you say, I can't be employed because I'm smoking dope.
I'm not doing that.
Can you pass a drug screen?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I can.
Are you taking drugs? Are you selling drugs? Are you using drugs?
No.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
I just haven't. No, absolutely not. I am not. That's why I felt like that the show was good. It would be okay to go on the show because I'm not doing drugs. I'm not selling drugs. My circumstances haven't been the best.
You told us that you're smoking marijuana at night.
On occasion, yeah.
You just told me you weren't. Which is it? You told us you were. Now you just, not 30 seconds ago, told me you weren't.
I wasn't really considering that in the definition of drug use, I guess.
I said, are you using drugs? Are you selling drugs? Are you involved in drugs in any way? You said no.
I wasn't considering that.
Okay, and you're not dealing drugs?
No, absolutely not.
Well, here's a message you sent June 1st, 11:56 a.m. Megan, hey girl, times are really tight right now, so I'm trying to sell some of my Klonopin. Do you know anyone interested?
I've not had any Klonopin. I haven't been prescribed that. I haven't had any access to that. I'm not even sure where that message came from.
You're not sure where it came from?
Right.
It came from your Facebook page.
I have not had any Klonopin. I don't take Klonopin. I haven't had access to Klonopin. I don't know why. I don't know where that message came from.
Well, I do know that you will offer to sell things that you don't have or deliver. Maybe that's what you were doing here.
I'm sorry?
There are allegations that you defraud people by offering to sell things that you don't have, take their money, and then don't deliver. Is that what you were doing here?
No, that's not. No.
So did you have Klonopin that you were selling here, or were you faking that you had Klonopin that you were selling here?
I didn't even send that message. I haven't had any Klonopin or access to any Klonopin. I don't know I have no idea where that came from.
Caitlin?
Dr. Phil, I don't know if it's her perception, it's her reality, but I don't think she realizes that people love to report to us like we are her parent or something.
I know.
So when she does things and people will screenshot it from their phone and send it directly to us, letting someone saying, oh, do you want to buy some of my Klonopin? And then they go on about it. And like, we see it. Like we don't have to come to her about everything right now, but we know this is happening. People are telling on her to us. So I don't understand. She said she didn't even send the message. So someone stole your phone and had a whole conversation about Klonopin on your Facebook.
I don't know, Caitlin. I don't have Klonopin. Like, I don't have a prescription for Klonopin or anything.
Like it just doesn't add up.
How about Percocet, Megan?
I don't know.
Have you had any dealings with Percocet recently?
Not that I can recall, no.
Not that you can recall.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I went to the doctor for pain and they would give me Percocet.
Is there any reason anyone would have told me that you had been trafficking in Percocet recently? Well, how about just telling me the truth?
I feel like that, obviously, since you're asking me this question, that you have some kind of information stating that I have, but I haven't. I am telling you the truth.
You didn't get Percocet from somebody very near and close to the family?
I was just trying to do someone a favor.
Is there any reason anyone would have told me that you had been trafficking in Percocet recently?
Recently, I don't know. People are always saying stuff. I don't know. Not that I can think of. I can't recall having Percocet or getting a prescription for Percocet.
Have you asked anyone for Percocet recently?
No. I don't take medication like that. I don't take it.
Are you sure you haven't asked anyone for Percocet recently?
I feel like that, obviously, since you're asking me this question, that you have some kind of information stating that I have, but I haven't. I don't take that kind of medication. I don't do that stuff.
Would there be any reason that someone would have given me documentation that you have asked for Percocet recently?
I don't know. Apparently they have done that, so I guess that you have some kind of information.
Well, how about just telling me the truth?
I am telling you the truth. I don't do that. I don't do drugs like that. I don't take any Percocet or Klonopin or anything.
You didn't get Percocet from somebody very near and close to the family?
That wasn't for me.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about now.
Okay, so you did get Percocet for somebody. Do you remember now, or like just?
Yeah, I remember now, but it wasn't for me.
So you were just dealing it, selling it to somebody else, getting it for somebody else?
I wasn't stealing it. It was given.
I said dealing. I didn't know if you were maybe selling it, or I don't know.
No, I wasn't selling it. It was someone asked for it because they needed it.
So you were just trafficking illegal drugs for free?
I was just trying to do someone a favor.
Trafficking illegal drugs for free?
It was a one-time incident. I was just trying to do someone a favor, and I guess it now has backfired.
Oh, I would say so. Is this how you're making money at this point? Just here to make some money off how much I really like to play. You get what you pay for with me, smiley wink face.
No, it's not how I'm making money. And that was when COVID first started. And a lot of people in the service industry or in industries where they lost their jobs went that route to try to make some money.
You understand that when this is on the internet, that the court and the guardian ad litem, they just pull this stuff up and assess whether or not you're providing a stable environment for your child.
Well, I mean, it makes money. That's not how I'm making money now. I tried it out for a moment and it wasn't for me, and I haven't been back to that website since March.
Well, I mean, I kind of find it hard to believe that she hasn't been to that website since March. People tell us that she'll post, oh, subscribe to my page or a new page. I don't think she tried it for once. I mean, I think she was actively doing it and making money, but that's just my opinion.
But here's my thing. If you're making money with that, even though obviously, it's not I don't agree with it, but it's up to you to do that, then how come you haven't used that money to at least do something positive? When's the last time you said, hey, I'm going to bring by something for Avery, I'm going to bring him some toys, or hey, I'm going to bring him some clothes,
You said I'm not allowed near your house, so...
Megan, we both
You said if I come to your house, it's going to be, you're going to give me a restraining order. So that's why that hasn't
Megan,
happened.
That's when you were acting erratically.
And at the same time, like I said, I'm not doing that anymore. I tried it out.
Well, we have to take a break, and I started this by saying I believe that parents should be in their child's lives. I'm going to talk about what I mean by that and what I think Megan needs to do in this situation, because I believe that Megan can be in her son's life, but some things need to happen first. So how has all of this affected Avery? Well, according to Andy, this is what he asked his father. Why doesn't my mom want me anymore? We'll talk about that after the break and determine whether or not she really does.
It's very important that Megan plays a role in Avery's life because she is his mother.
Avery is extremely affected by Megan's absence. He's 5 years old. He's becoming more and more aware. I mean, he asked me, why doesn't my mom want me anymore?
It really breaks my heart to hear him say that, knowing that he loves his mother and that she could care less about being a part of his life.
Avery has a hard time really comprehending or understanding where his mother is and what she's doing.
There's a lot of resentment and anger towards Megan from Avery.
I like to constantly reassure him that his mother does love him and thinks about him, because I don't want him to ever think it was something that he did wrong.
It's very hard to explain to Avery.
We have been able to use the pandemic as a good excuse or cover for her, saying that, you know, she just can't find somewhere to live because of it. He longs for that relationship. He wants it.
Megan just needs to grow up, get her act straight, and take responsibility.
Let me tell you something. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you because I want you in your son's life. And somebody needs to tell you the truth. One time, somebody needs to tell you the straight up truth, whether you want to hear it or not. And you need to hear from me that I don't believe a damn word you're saying. I don't believe that your son came home and told you that his daddy had done something wrong with him. First off, I don't believe that that happened. Number one, whether he said it or whether he didn't. So let me be very clear, Andy. I don't believe that you ever were inappropriate with your son in any way. I think if somebody put a gun to your head and said, molest your son, or I'm going to pull the trigger, you would just tell him to shoot. Because I don't believe you would do that, not for 1 second of 1 minute, ever, ever. So I don't believe that happened. I don't believe it would ever happen. And I don't believe that he came home and said that to you, Megan, at all. And when you were telling me that that's what he said, I am a specialist in deception detection, and every signal your body was giving was telling me that you didn't believe that that happened, that you were lying when you said that, and you were lying when you were telling me that's what happened. Now, if you want to save face now and say that happened, then say it. Fine, I don't care. But you need to hear me.
Lying.
You need to hear me now tell you, if you want to be back in your son's life, you need to stop blaming. You need to stop being the victim. You need to stop making excuses for not taking an hour course, not getting into a drug treatment, and doing the things you need to do to get back into your son's life. You're not in your son's life because you aren't doing what you need to do to be back in your son's life. You can stop smoking dope. You can get off Adderall. You can stop doing favors for friends with Percocet. I don't believe a word you're saying. The road to getting you back to your son is so easily done. You can have it covered in 30 days. And you may be sitting there saying, God, what a jerk Dr. Phil is. I'm telling you the truth because it will get you back to your son the quickest. And I will help you do it. Now, Megan claims she wants to be in her son's life, but is she willing to do what it takes? I'm going to ask her after the break. Hey, everyone, season 19 is underway.
If you never made it to Hollywood to be a part of the studio audience, well, now it doesn't matter. If you're in Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas, New Jersey, or anywhere else in the world, now you can be a part of our virtual audience.
All you need is a computer and an internet connection. Go to drphil.com and click on Be Part of the Audience for more information.
That's right. Hope to see you soon.
Megan, I am being very straight with you. I'm not soft pedaling anything. I'm doing that because I care about you, and I care about your relationship with your son. What do you think about what I'm telling you?
I think you're right. And I guess I just needed an outsider to tell me, like a mediator, to just kind of let me know that I'm in control of my situation and I need to handle it.
The road back is really very simple, and it varies state to state, but there are 10 basic factors that you've got to be able to do to actually have a role in his life. You got to provide a safe, stable, secure environment, maintain a consistent, nurturing relationship. Your own mother said when he would come to your house, you would be upstairs sleeping and he's downstairs by himself. You have to be able to attend to the daily needs of the child. Adequate education takes place, financial support. Prioritize the child's needs ahead of your own. Empathize with the child's needs. Regulate your impulses and emotions. Assist the child in developing and maintaining appropriate relationships, and exercise appropriate judgment regarding the child's welfare. Those are 10 simple things that you have to do. And Andy, you and Caitlin are clearly doing that. And you've made it possible for Megan to do it as well, if she will. You've even moved her in twice, for God's sakes. I've never even heard of that.
Trying to do the right thing.
And God bless y'all for not alienating the child from his mother. You need to do this. Now, look, we are in a pandemic right now. We are in quarantine right now. And I will set up immediately 10 sessions for you through Doctor on Demand with somebody that you don't even have to leave your house. You can just get on your computer, and I will set you up with a professional at Doctor on Demand, which is a company my son and I started that will sit down and say, let's make a plan and put the dots close together and kickstart you and get you moving in that direction, and we'll set that up right now so you don't have to do this on your own.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much.
And if you will just put one foot in front of the other, you will be amazed how quickly you can get back. You protect that child's well-being and unify this family. And to do that, you've got to step up and get healthy, Megan. No blaming, no finger pointing. Own it yourself and do it. You can do this. I believe you can do it. I believe in you if you'll just do it. Fair enough?
Yes. Yeah,
All right.
I want to do it.
Well, we're going to watch. Coming up, my next guest's dream came true when she came face to face with a shark from the TV show. Her story next. My next guest has done something most people only dream about. She turned her passion into a very successful business. Kim says she's always loved baking, and in 2009, she formed her company using family recipes. Then, just 2 years later, her business was propelled into the stratosphere thanks to a shark.
Creaming that butter and that sugar. Making cakes is my God-given talent. I put so much love and passion into the cakes I make. I am the owner of Daisy Cakes. I use my great Aunt Daisy's recipes. I think my cakes are a little slice of love. I wanted to take my cakes to the next level, so I appeared on Shark Tank. The lucky shark who picked me was Barbara Corcoran. Since then, I've opened locations in 2 states. We've sold over 150,000 cakes. Spending a lot of time in the kitchen gives me a tired look. Being in the public eye, I really could use some serious help. Growing up, we spent the summers at the beach. Back in the day, you wanted to be as dark as possible. I mean, baby oil, dark tanning oil, whatever it took. The reason I'm having skin issues is from the mistakes I've made in the past. I have wrinkles in my forehead, around my mouth. There's definitely a change in the firmness of my skin. I need a skincare treatment for right this minute that works. If I could find a product that would do something about these wrinkles for a younger look, that would be the icing on the cake.
Well, Kim is joining me along with beauty expert Shilan Liu, spokesperson for the beauty brand No. 7. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Now, Kim, did you ever imagine your family's recipes would turn into a multi-million-dollar business?
No, Dr. Phil, not in a million years. I mean, who would think that I would go from baking cakes in my kitchen with my mother to being on TV and having, all these wonderful things happen? I still can't believe it.
Yeah, well, your success actually had you leaving your hometown in South Carolina, right? Mm-hmm. And heading west. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so I've had my commercial bakery in South Carolina for 11 years, and I always wondered about having a West Coast location to better serve the customers out this way.
Right.
And so about 2 years ago, I decided to take the plunge and head out west and open up a second location in Las Vegas.
So how's that working out?
Business-wise, it's been a great idea. Works out nicely, but I tell you, going from the wonderful humidity in South Carolina that gives you a nice glisten, it's been really tough with the dry desert air on my skin. It has really wreaked havoc. And it's like the more my business grew, the more the wrinkles grew, especially around on my forehead and my mouth. And, you know, I am the face of the company, and I want to look nice, and I've been considering going to a dermatologist to get some help.
Yeah, well, I can't help you with your wrinkles, but the beauty expert sitting here certainly can. So, Chilan, what would you suggest for Kim?
Well, Kim, first off, I have to tell you, congratulations on your tremendous success. It's just so inspiring.
Thank you.
Secondly, you spoke about being the face of your company. So, of course, you want to look your best. So let's get your skin glowing. May I ask what you're using on your face now?
Yeah, so since moving to a drier climate, I've used lots of lotions and moisturizers and, of course, plenty of sunscreen. But it just seems like they're not getting the job done, and I really would love to have a product that's going to work.
No, absolutely understand. You know, as we age, we start to see changes in our skin, like sagging and wrinkles. Now, you strike me as a very confident woman, so let's keep that confidence strong and focused on your business, not on your wrinkles. Now, a new product that I believe would be perfect for someone like you is No. 7 Advanced Retinol Night Concentrate. Its clinically proven formula includes 2 super effective age-defying ingredients, No. 7's unique peptide and retinol.
Okay.
Well, Chilan, I know so little about skincare, but I hear a lot of talk about retinol. So what exactly is it, and how would it help Kim?
Well, Dr. Phil, you're totally right. You know, retinol is one of those buzzwords in the beauty industry, and simply put, retinol is concentrated vitamin A that accelerates skin renewal and fights signs of aging. Now, dermatologists, they love it, and this serum actually contains 5 times more retinol than the best-selling retinol serum. Yeah, that's right. But unlike other products out there, especially the prescription strength ones, this one is still gentle on the skin.
So, Kim, what do you think? Makes sense?
Well, yes, sir. And, you know, if I could avoid going to a dermatologist and lose the wrinkles, I just have one question, and that's, where can I buy it?
Well, Kim, you're in luck because you can easily find this at Target for less than $35. But you don't have to go shopping just yet because No. 7 is sending you home with a year's supply.
Oh, my gosh! Are you kidding? Oh,
You don't even have to go to the store. Right. Look, I'd like to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Chilan Liu. Thank you so much for being here. And if you have a difficult situation in your life and you would like my help, I'm here, and I would love to hear from you. Just email me at drphil.com and tell me about it. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and be sure to subscribe to Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret with Robin McGraw. Believe me, she has lots of secrets, and she wants to share them with you. You don't want to miss a single episode. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.